Now, okay. So remember we were talking about the coverings and stuff? That's actually the dura. So, are you?
We're all like,
Is my hair all right?
and your YouTube too.
Oh, thank God. Right. So the white material is the dura mater, and so if we were to pull the dura mater off, this sort of I can't really see it, but the sort of shiny white material on the surface that clings to all the ridges and valleys and things, that's the pia. Okay. So let's start with this one, the whole brain here. It's got the longitudinal fissure, that's easy. The cerebellum back here, that's pretty straightforward. If you turn it over like this one's a little chopped up. You can still see a little dura on here. These little structures here, this one's a little bit torn there. Let's see if we've got it over here. Kind of, but not too well. Anyway, those are the olfactory bulbs. Sense of smell, right? And they kind of go right out here to the end. This one's missing a little bit right there. We look at this one. You can see how the dura doesn't really cover them. They're sort of exposed. So those are the olfactory bulbs and olfactory bulbs. Right? This sort of, I don't know how to describe it, somewhat almost like an upside down V. This structure right here is the optic nerve. And where the optic nerve crosses, it's called the optic chiasm, which means cross. So the optic chiasm would be like right there, because if you look at this one right next to it, where the optic nerves are more preserved, kind of optic nerve went that way to one eye and that way to the other eye, and where they cross, right there in the middle, is the optic chiasm. Because pretty much what happens is they kind of cross and go to the opposite sides of the brain to a large extent. So, your right eye, left brain, left eye, right brain kind of thing. So that's the optic chiasm, and you can see it there and there. When you get a sagittal section cut like this, it's a little more difficult to figure out, but see, we cut it right through the optic chiasms. This is just a little bit of what's left of the kind of the optic nerve, if that makes sense at all. And this would be the olfactory bulb up there. Let's see what we got on this one. Oh yeah, these are much. Oh, this is a really good one. So you can see the optic nerves, the optic chiasm, and then the olfactory bulbs up there. This bulge right here, which we'll see better in a sagittal section, but this is the pons, and then the medulla oblongata, and then finally, of course, the spinal cord down this direction. Let's see, what else can we see on these guys? I don't know if this works too well in a sheep brain, but sort of be frontal lobe, sort of parietal lobe, occipital lobe, temporal lobe, I guess, over here on the side, but I don't think I'd ever ask that question on a sheep brain. Anyway, so those are the whole brains. Now you just kind of get the overview of everything on the whole brain. Now let's look at these sagittal section brains. That's where you get a lot more of the kind of stuff you need to see. All right, so